Hey everyone, it's Desiree, and I'm here for the July 2019 Amazing Paper Grace die set of the month for Spellbinders. So as always, the Amazing Paper Grace die set, one of the things that I love is the elegance, the delicate die cuts that you get, and the versatility that you get as well. I do encourage everyone that if you are getting this die or if you're thinking about subscribing, you definitely want this in your stash because there are so many ways to work with these dies. So you see you have 4 of them. You have the outline that'll cut a solid piece. Then you have the intricate part that'll embellish, and then you have a center part. So this can actually make an easel type card, but of course, you know, one like a picture frame that will sit up. So keep that in mind. Now, I'm actually not going to do that with this, but there are, I'm sure, plenty of videos to create, or not create, to watch. Yeah, where's my mind going there? So that you can see the many different ways that you can use these dies. So one of the things here, we're going to do a very different size of a card base. My card base is going to be cut 4 1/4, and it's going to stand 6.5 inches tall, and it's going to be a side folding. So you can see I did a lot of die cutting. I mean, a lot. It's the only way I can describe it. So I cut 2 of the ivory panels there. You can see that off to the side, and then I cut off the hinges, and then for the center portion I cut about 5 of those, and I'm just layering all of those. So I really sped this up. Again, I want you to see as much, I want to show you as much as I can on how I put these cards together or any of my projects. So it depends upon the area where I may speed it up just a little bit faster than other areas. So you're not going crazy. So one of the things that I did with this die set, I pulled out one of my die sets from my stash by Spellbinders. And this was actually the large die of the month from January of 2019. It is still available and it is on sale, so I'll have that link down below if you're interested. But what I loved about this set, it was called Cherish, and it had these branches and it had these very tiny little flowers. For some reason, when I saw this die, I immediately thought of a wrought iron gate. It's kind of what I saw, and yes, it is definitely looking like that, but I only wanted the sides to have that. So when I was digging through my dies, when I saw these branches or vines, whatever you want to call them, I just knew that I wanted them to be intertwined throughout the die cut of the I guess the wrought iron on the sides. Now, you're going to see the reason why I did cut 2 of these. A couple reasons, actually. One, to give me more interest on the front of my card, more dimension. But you can see all of this of what's going on in the back. And again, I'm just poking these branches through, excuse me, and I'm placing them. But I do want to make sure that they're, coming up, coming from behind this section here, and just making sure that they're glued in place. So that's going to be on the back. Now again, as I'm creating this card, I wasn't quite sure where I was going, which is always usually, I get this idea going on there. Okay, this is what the card's going to look like. I always change it. So here's where the second piece comes in. It's going to be able to hide all of that and actually help it to adhere down on those pieces that I intertwined. Now, this would also be a beautiful tag for a wedding gift. Absolutely gorgeous. So this here You can make it look like a door. I mean, it's just something that I saw, but I wanted to make sure that the vines or the branches that I have here, I want them to come up over this. So this is going to be set just a little bit higher because remember, this is 5 layers. And you can see, I'll call the background gate is in ivory and this top piece is in white. I do love the look of white and ivory. A lot of people sometimes think it can't go together. I think they go together beautifully. I think they truly complement each other. I'm just gluing down the ends of those branches that are coming to the front of that gate there. So now what I'm going to do is play with all these little flowers. And again, these are dies that are sitting in the cherished large die of the month from January. So I cut all kinds, and I'm using a powder pink color, and then I'm using just a small piece of fun foam, and I'm using the stylus from my Tool-in-One by Spellbinders, and I'm just curling these up a little bit. So I'm going to be placing these around, and I'm going to double layer them, and they're going to be set all throughout these branches. So I do use a lot because I think because of their size, you know, they're so dainty. I think they're cute. I just think they add the perfect accent to the areas that I'm putting it in. Now I'm shaking it because I forget which ones that I adhered. I've been placing things all over the place. There's a lot of die cutting going on here. So every once in a while you'll see me pick that up and shake it just to make sure that I am adhering my pieces. Because you know it would happen. I would pick up the card, things would fall off. So again, my card base is a very different size. It's 4 1/4 inches wide, and then it is 6 1/2 inches tall. So to cut that, you could take an 8 1/2 piece of paper and then cut it to be 8 1/2 by 6 1/2, and then you would score along the 8 1/2 at 4 1/4, and then that's how you would create your card base. So you can see I just keep grabbing some, placing them onto the fun foam. I'm not looking for a lot of curve, just a little bit for the flowers. I'm double layering them, and then I'm just getting them placed down onto where I want them on my door. And I think these are going to be the last 2 that I chose. I did have some ivory cardstock cut as well, but I did change my mind to have ivory flowers. I thought they may have gotten lost in the background. At least with the flowers, it kind of helps to pull out the wrought iron gate that I'm kind of going for there. So we're just going to do a little bit of cleanup, and we're going to adhere this onto my card base. I do find with dies this intricate, I do like to use liquid adhesive. I do find it works best. Now this is crooked, but you know what? I'm okay. I'm good with it. So, and with that die set comes the die word of cherish, and I thought that was perfect for this as well. I did cut a layer of this in the pink that I used for the flowers, and you can very faintly see that behind the gold. I'm going to grab some of my Vintage Drops by Nuvo in chocolate chip, and I'm going to use that for the centers of my flowers. I'm also going to accent the centerpiece of the gate. What I do love about the Vintage Drops is they dry satin or matte. So there's no shine, no shimmer, no nothing, but they do dry very matte, which is something that I do like. I like that look. So I'm just adding some accents. in different sizes when it comes to the drops. And that is our project using the amazing paper Grace die set of the month for July 2019 for Spellbinders. So I do hope you enjoyed this. I do hope you'll give it a try. Die cutting is a lot of fun. I do enjoy it. I love what you can build and create with that. Links to the large die of the month that I did use for this, and as always, to all of the clubs that Spellbinders has available each month, will be linked down below, along with their gallery for inspiration and blog and the shop link. So please make sure you check that out. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to to leave those down below as well, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I almost left a voicemail. That's too funny. I want to thank you so much for stopping by and just spending this crazy moment with me here watching my video. If you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe, but make sure you ring that bell because you don't want to miss the next video that comes up. You just never know what it's going to be or what I'm going to say. I hope everyone's having a great day. Take care, but always remember what's most important. Always be creative.